Okay, first off, the good news is that I got that rocker bolt to work. What I did was that's the one, is I just took the right size tap and I just put it with my fingers and I just kind of lightly put it in there and started twisting, and I could feel it biting right out of the gate. So I just kind of lightly twisted my fingers and then pulled it out, put it back in there, did a couple times, just real light, and then it felt like it was starting to screw in. So I'm like, okay, let me just check it. So I just put the bolt in there and it cinched down. And then I took the bolt back out. There was no shavings on the bolt. So I put the rocker on and put a little bit of blue Loctite on there and cinched her down, scared the whole time, and it actually got tight. So I'm gonna run that until it breaks. Hopefully it doesn't break. Long crank, short crank issue. I was really just wanting to see this really bad, and it was bugging me. And I have to change the oil pans anyways. Just ignore how dark that is. It'll be fine. That one was the same way. Anyways, I figured the best way to do it would be to pull the pan off, and I was gonna look for some numbers, but I think I got my answer really fast without looking for numbers. Come over here, put a knife back in here. It's just solid metal. There's nothing there. But if you come right here, you put this in here, and there's a ridge right there. So that actually that's the spacer, but I couldn't tell from the other view. So that's the spacer. So we're good, yeah. Short crank. That is definitely not a spacer. That is definitely part of the crank that goes back in there. Definitely long. Because I don't even know where you look for numbers on this thing. Might be one of those things where you can't even tell till it's out. So yeah, a quick look, couldn't tell, but I can tell now. I'm working on making sure the O-ring for the oil pump is actually the right one, because it comes with the black one, it comes with the green one. I took off a red one. It did come with a red one too. There's a red one right there. So it's like, which one do I use? So this tells you right here, there's 3 different ends right here. It says there's a O-ring grooved end, which means there would be a groove right here, which there's not. There would be a tapered end that is not tapered, or there is a straight end, and that is definitely straight, and you can double check that it is 0.87 approximately. So let me get that zeroed out. 0.88. So I would say that's close enough because that is approximate. So then, if it's straight, approximate, you want to use the black O-ring, which kind of weirds me out because it's a lot thinner than this one. But this one, you can tell, is a little bit distorted. So I'm gonna go push this in and see if that feels like it has a nice tight fit. If it doesn't, I might just say screw it and put the red one back on like it was before. But the red one was going into a stock pump before. This one's going into the milling pump. So I will go fit this and let you know how it feels. So the black one was good. It should have a little bit of struggle getting in there and then slide in, but don't use the bolts to suck it down. You should be able to get it pushed in there really tight with just the O-ring, and it did. So it pushed in there nice and snug. And then I put the bolts on. Got both of them, that one and that one. And the pickup's good to go, and all I have to do is just clean it up and put the oil pan on. Taking a detour from your normally scheduled program. Hasn't rained here in 90 days. And the day my buddy's water pump goes bad is the day that it rains. So we are doing just a parking lot water pump replacement on this 4.8. Not too bad, actually. We're set up with the Harbor Freight $60 awning. We're good. I have the oil pan completely cleaned out. There was a lot of sludge in there, and I don't know if it was from the time I ran the Marble Mystery Oil in there. I know some of the dirt got on the pan because it was sitting underneath when I flipped it over, but it had like straight up sludge in there, and I can only think that that's from the mystery oil, and it couldn't drain. So that was a treat, but it's perfectly clean now. And got the oil pan bolts sitting in some simple green. All the injectors are freshly redone, flow tested, cleaned, all new caps and O-rings. So those are ready to go. Just need to clean up the fuel rail before I put it back on. And then I got this sensor in this intake manifold, but after I got that in there, I started noticing that here's the rear mount for the top. There's no front stud on there, like that one. So I started wondering, well, wait, something else looks different. This area is all capped off. That one was open and has a cap on it. This part is part of the throttle body. This one doesn't have it, but it's right here. So I don't know if it's a van thing, because you could explain this might be a newer design, but what about that stud? Because they didn't use the covers maybe on the vans, and that's why this manifold is different. Kind of bums me out, but I'm gonna try and run it anyways. One reason it bums me out is because this one is so much cleaner, but this one has all the right mounting on it. So still gonna run this one. Maybe that one will be enough to hold it. I don't know, we'll find out. But there is a difference in the truck intakes. So there you go, didn't know that. It's all new to me. So I just need to clean off this gasket a little bit more in the corners where you put the RTV, and then I can go put it on the engine. There it is. This engine is basically ready to go. I would have really liked to have even this was a brand new water pump when I put it on, and I sprayed it off with brake clean, but it didn't come in super clean. And then I would have liked to have cleaned up all the accessories besides just brake clean the crap out of it and actually painted it. But you know what? This is not a full rebuild. So I do have a spare bracket that I can clean up in the meantime and make pretty, but I just want to get this thing all set up, ready to go. And it basically is all ready to go. I'm not going to put the manifold on until last. That's that one. So then I also got the intake basically all ready to go. Got the fresh injectors in there, and the sensor we added. This thing's basically ready to go too. So this isn't going to go on until the engine's in, because it'll be nice to be able to access the wiring over the back of the engine without that manifold on there. So that's why that's going to wait. So now the next video will be maybe pulling the harness out, prepping that. So I got a hold of this silver sport transmission and asked if my transmission was still on track to ship at the end of September, which is now. And they said no, it's like it could be another 4 to 6 weeks out, which is just like, oh, devastated. But there's a shortage everywhere for basically everybody, so I guess the only thing good about that is it gives me a little bit of time to continue prepping. So in the meantime, they are going to send me everything that they can, which is basically most of the kit, no transmission, most of the kit, but not the the clutch, slave cylinder, and master cylinder are not in stock right this second, so those will ship with the transmission. But basically, everything else is coming. I think the bracket or template to make the hole is coming, so I can probably do that. All the pedal assembly is coming, so I can get all the pedals done. The cross member is coming. The pigtail harnesses for the transmission are coming. There's 2 of them, and so I can integrate those into the harness. And let's see, a few other small odds and ends that, oh, big thing is that the clutch and flywheel and the bell housing are coming for the transmission, so I can mount them to, and the pilot bearing will all come for the transmission swap, because that's really what I need right now, because I need to put it on the engine itself. I need to center the bell housing to the crank, and I wanted to do that outside of the car. Once I get on the hoist, do it outside of the car. That way it's really easy to do, and then that will allow me to get the engine back in the car. So I will be able to get engine back in the car, most of the wiring all ready to go, pedal, all that done. So basically, hopefully, all that I'll really need to do is just, when I get the transmission, put it in, add the fluid control, and then that's it. So that gives me time to get other stuff done. So I'm hoping it doesn't take me 4 to 6 weeks, but knowing me and how slow I go, it might, because I literally just pick at this a little bit after work, and then my weekends, I try to come out here a little bit every weekend, but I'm just getting so burnt out on knowing that I have to work on this thing like every single weekend. But I will keep pushing, because I want to get this car roadworthy again. So I don't know. Next video is Silver Sport transmission stuff, so I can't wait to show you guys that and see it for myself, and start digging into more of the prep. But the engine stuff is done. That'll be the last video on prepping any of that stuff. So thanks for watching. I don't usually ask you guys to subscribe, but it's super encouraging to have people subscribe to the videos. It makes me feel like people are actually enjoying all the stuff I'm putting out. I do have a lot of cool, solid people who've been following me for a long time that are really encouraging as well. I appreciate you guys, and that's it.